Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more EarthBound. Last time, Pooh helped us to learn more things of the pyramid that Gygus doesn't want us anywhere near. The guy's earning his keep already, which is good because he sure as hell wasn't doing that in battle. And in learning more about the pyramid, we learn more about something else. A shining spot here in Fourside under the ground this entire time that we were not able to find without Pooh's help. This time, we're going in after it. Hey, this is the sleaziest place in town. This is where I'd suggest getting down to the sewers. No, there are some things that I would like to show you about the Topala Theater that are a little bit remote before we move on. I could have done this before when we were here to see Venus's show, but you have to visit the place twice in order to trigger these events anyway, so I figured we might as well save it for a little bit later. Okay, don't forget, life is money. I've lived that life. You can buy everything but love, friendship, and experience points. You know, unless this is Paper Mario Sticker Star and, you know, they replace leveling up with more powerful items that you can just buy. I have issues I need to work out, okay? I'm sorry. Ah, you're a friend of the Runaway Five. Yeah, we'll go back inside. If you come back to Venus again after seeing her show once... Oh, you again. Look, I'm busy right now. I'll give you an autograph next time. Here to see my show? Oh, I see. Looks like you aren't too busy. Make yourself at home for a while. I've heard about actors not really, you know, making friends with fans, so I can kind of see maybe where you're coming from a little bit. Okay. Then you should give me help. Then you should give me a big hand. That's kind of clever, actually, that she behaves that way. And if you're wondering, no, he hasn't given up on his dreams to spoon her. I say she should feel lucky that her stalker is not Mr. Fork. What was it we were doing again? Oh, right, making story progress. Seems to be a problem in my life. Please come back again to study, because I don't like being alone. Welcome to an entrance to the sewers in the back room of a museum. I don't really get it either, and I do not dig the stuff floating in that water. We're gonna be starting off the sewers of Fourside with two new enemies, the Stinky Ghost and the Deadly Mouse. Deadly Mouse is a powered-up version of the Rowdy Mouse, but it now has the capability to poison. The Stinky Ghost, I think Pooh can go for some thunder right here, as I think that thing has pretty high defense. It is able to inflict... Oh, whoa, okay, invented a terrible order to lower offense right there. I was going to say that the Stinky Ghost is one of the rare enemies that's capable of inflicting possession, making it a bit of a hybrid of the Smelly Ghost that we saw back in 3, as well as the Zombie Possessor that we also saw back in 3. Pooh, how about we have you turn into one, maybe? I know that mirror is a little bit iffy on if it works or not, but maybe we can try it out here. Or, no? Pooh could not turn into it, okay. At least it doesn't take PP to try it, even though you think it would. Got nothing to lose, but well, you have a lot of health, wow. It did exactly Pooh's max HP. Pooh's regular attack also just did 1 damage. I know it's got a lot of defense, but still. Come on, guys, blow on! Oh, there we are. Always feel like they shouldn't have that much health. Pooh grows to level 22, a much-needed buff that you got. Unfortunately, no new PSI powers to make you a little bit more useful. And at the end of the tunnel here, we have a trash can containing a croissant that we found in the sewers. I would say that we've eaten worse, but I don't think eating a burger out of the trash is actually worse than that. Next up, a third new enemy, Mr. Filth himself, the Filthy Attack Roach. This is yet another palette swap, more powerful enemy. I guess they were running out of original art assets. Happens to the best RPGs eventually. It has a continuous attack, similar to the Extra Cranky Lady, which makes sense because they're related. I could believe it. A roach, however, is still a roach, not worth too much PP of yours to be able to expend. Grows to level 23, looking good. Whoa! Max PP up by 25. Or was that HP up? HP up by 25, never mind. Getting worked up over nothing, I'm sorry. Sorry to call you nothing as well. Come on. Nest grows to level 46. And for the first time, Pooh does not get a level up from a fight. Oh man, our shoes are going to be disgusting after this. I've already hated having water oh god, the teddy bear. Oh, I did not think this plan through at all. Ugh. I've already lamented the days of walking to school in the rain and having water soaked into your socks because you stepped in a puddle and having to deal with it at school all day, and then at the end of the day when you take your shoe off and you peel the sock off of your foot, it's really gross and it just feels wrong. But this takes that to a whole new level. I have not experienced true pain before now. There's a broken iron inside. You want to be sure to grab that, as it's a Jeff item that you're not going to find. Well, I don't think that is actually true. I think that just turns into another slime generator, meaning that the slime generator should be able to be sold. And wait, were you occupying the exact same space? Because I did not see two of you there. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Pooh, you can attack at random, really. You can do whatever you want. I don't care. We have a lot of items in our inventory, and I need to use them up. I've been long overdue on using up a lot of items. And we really, really have to remedy that. Using Pooh's PSI Thunder right there is actually kind of a good idea. I don't know if I've gone over this before, but the accuracy check on Thunder, where you're guaranteed to hit an enemy if there's 4 enemies on the field and you're more likely to hit the more enemies there are, that is rolled at the beginning of the turn, meaning that Pooh's PSI Thunder each hit at a 50-50 chance of hitting, even though one of the rowdy mice was already dead by the time it came around to Pooh's turn. It's a nice way of making PSI Thunder not useless when you're fighting faster enemies than whoever's using it. It's nice. Oh, there's that continuous attack, and ouch. So you kill a teddy bear and then you injure its friend as well. This ain't going so hot, actually. I kind of running into a lot of enemies. Pooh's not really pulling his weight. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be crapping all over Pooh or anything like that, but I think you're kind of seeing why I don't like him very much. His whole main gimmick just isn't really that helpful. It's nice having a dedicated spellcaster so you can conserve Ness and Paula's PP, but Ness and Paula's PP was never really a problem for me. I don't know if it's just because I've played it enough times, and as a result, I know exactly how long these areas are and how to manage my PP accordingly because I used to speedrun. That might be it. It might just be me. Maybe I'm wrong when it comes to casual playthroughs. It's just how I've always personally felt about it. Broken spray can, take that as well. There's, if you want to talk obsolete tricks, there's one right there. Paula grew to level 39, level ups abound all over the place, and Pooh is joining right in, furthering my statement. We gotta use items. Pooh should have at least 1 bottle of water in his inventory. Yes, he does, and it would be an opportune moment to use that, drinking that, recovering 12 PP. Similar to how HP recovery items recover within a few of a certain range, max PP items work exactly the same way, not always recovering 10 whenever you give it to them. Good thing you didn't sprinkle the jar of deli sauce in the water, even though I feel like I could probably drink watered down deli sauce, as gross as that sounds. I've said it tastes good on everything, after all. The croissant, Paula. But you weren't hurt. Hooray, freeing up inventory space! Pooh grows to level 26. He'll be caught up in no time. He's less than 10 levels below Paula now. Oh! Way to go, teddy bear. Not what I intended for a first attack. I obviously have no way of knowing if this is what they were going for or not, but a personal theory of mine is that Pooh is named what he is because every school has that one foreign kid who has a perfectly normal name in their language, and then as soon as they transfer into your culture and everyone learns what their name is, it's something hilarious in that country's most commonly spoken language. I suppose it wouldn't even necessarily be for English, though, but just any cultural change that would happen during a kid's childhood, because Pooh is a big deal in his country. Everyone loves him, but the second that he's suddenly in American culture, he would get made fun of and have the worst childhood ever. Like everyone, I knew one of these growing up, and I've always wanted a good excuse to share this story because everyone I've told it to has really, really liked it. I never actually met him, but in my elementary school, on the school computers, there was a drop-down list where you would select your name and then log in. Oh, Pooh grew to level 27 to interrupt my story. You're not getting in my good graces there, buddy. Anyway, no, I'll stop crapping on him, like I said. Anyway, on this drop-down list, I swear to you that this name, I got in trouble almost for mentioning this kid around the teachers because they didn't believe me. They thought I was trying to get around, you know, not being allowed to, like, say certain things at school. And I actually had to pull it up on the computer to show, no, this is a real kid that goes to the school. I never met him, but somewhere in the confines of my school was a kid with the first name Fuckoy. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. This kid must have had the most miserable upbringing of all time. And I always asked other kids if they knew him because I always wanted to meet him and, like, just kind of find out what he was like with a name like that. And I never found him. I didn't know anybody that knew him. Maybe he was like a really little kid who was a lot younger than me because I think I learned of his existence in the 3rd or the 4th grade. I'm aware that it might have been pronounced a little differently, but when I showed it to the teacher and showed her the spelling, she was just like, oh, about the whole thing, and didn't get me in trouble after that. That was verbatim what his first name is. I swear I am not swearing to you. I did swear that wasn't on purpose either. Come on. Are you setting your kid up to just have the most miserable time at school ever? Says the guy who always gets called Emily all the time, so I guess I'm not really that much better, but still, it's a story I've always wanted to share. I deserved that. I deserved that. That's what I get for making fun of somebody's name. Oh, that's doubly what I deserve. And what? We've seen getting smashed by a mouse. We've seen getting smashed by an ant being even worse. And apparently getting smashed by a roach is even worse than that. Beyond the room is a Rust Promoter DX. That's an even better version than the Rust Promoter as it might be intended. Similar to how we gave Paula bombs when her regular attack was very weak and she didn't have a lot of PP, I would recommend giving your more offensive items such as bombs and Rust Promoters to Pooh so that he can do more damage on his turn without expending it. If you have Insecticide Spray, that might be helpful here. I think that about covers it. He'd be a good use of those items, especially with all of his free inventory space. Not like we really need to take down these guys, though. I like their little boots. They look really cute. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. I don't think that was actually a mortal blow because we didn't hear the boom boom sound when it attacked and get the red flashing effect. Oh. So he's probably going to hang on with his guts. Guts up by 2, speaking of which, and max HP up by 15. Not bad. All right. I'll get you stronger eventually. You're not going to be a tank healer like Ness or a PSI attacker like Paula, but you'll do. Trust me, you'll do. Keep going onward. And we got yet another door. But no! There's a trash can, and that'll give us a broken bazooka. ASAP, above all else, give that to Jeff yesterday. You want him to repair that item as fast as humanly possible. If there's even a small chance that he could repair it, yeah, just so you don't forget when he has enough IQ to restore it, you want that in his inventory so that you can't possibly forget. I cannot stress enough how much you want that. Trout yogurt. I'm thinking a fashionable treat for snobby, haughty cuisine people in some big cities. We need to recover about 30 HP. Sounds about right for about how delicious it would be. I can believe trout yogurt's 5 times as delicious as a cookie. I was really hopeful that that would happen when we were checking a trash can because I knew that we were overdue for one. Nest grows to 47. I'm kind of not getting as excited because we're seeing them all the time. I will get excited over a magic butterfly, though. And the time has come to desecrate our socks once more. I am so sorry. You will be put to rest in a very ceremonious way when this adventure is over. We have made it to the far end of the sewers. And we cannot go any further in. Gonna check our status. Ness is good. Paula's less good. Jeff is gooder. And Pooh is not goodest. Paula, I made a joke about the Pasta de Summers not being a good fit for you, so we're gonna give that to Pooh. And demonstrate that Pooh has a bit of a weird downside. Because his tastes are Dalamese and he's had an upbringing on that food, non-Dalamese food will not recover a lot of HP on Pooh. It's another bit of a technicality that you have to get around with him, and he's oftentimes not a good use of your items. I'm gonna listen to my own advice and give Pooh the bombs. Paula can have a Gelato Day resort. I would hate it if somebody gave me something that delicious in the middle of the sewers. Whenever anybody's even mentioning poop around me, I can't eat. I get really, really grossed out, and like my skin crawls if I'm eating when somebody talks about that stuff. I would hate it so much if somebody handed me something delicious like that in this kind of setting. So, Paula, if you're at all like me, here, I'm giving you a hug. I'm not putting my arms around you because they're probably soaked in filth right now. So just imagine that it is a hug. You finally got here. This is the 5th year sanctuary location, but it's mine now. Take it from me if you dare. The Plague Rat of Doom. Good name. And the growth on his back is really creepy. I don't know if his flesh is rotting away and that's bone or something. I think it's best not thought about. This is not really that powerful of a boss. I would say he might even be less threatening than Shroom, as his main gimmick is poisoning you. And other than that, he mainly just uses some regular physical attacks. If you can shut down his physical attacks or just nullify them a little bit, you should be pretty good. On top of that, there are very few bosses in EarthBound that are susceptible to Flash. And one of the effects that Flash Beta has is instant death 1 in 8 times. I always like spending all of Ness's PP to see if I can make that happen. So we're gonna go for it. Paula, you're gonna be... No, you're not going to pray. You're not going to. I forbid it. You are not going to pray. Jeff might be able to resurrect somebody if things get screwed up so that everyone can get experience points. And Pooh... maybe you could soften up the enemy a little bit. These are just regular bombs that are taking up space. Just in case we need to beat the enemy fast and the strategy with Ness isn't going to work. Yeah, we'll do it. Through the bomb. Flash Beta did not work. He does have a little bit of resistance to it, so I think it's roughly a 1 in 16 chance of pulling it off, because you gotta roll through 50% resistance, and then you have to get the 1 in 8 chance of actually killing him instantly. You can, thankfully, make him cry and some other things, which will shut down his physical attack, so I still recommend doing it. Felt a little strange. Okay. Attempt number 3, and it also occurs to me that Pooh, you have a physical shield. You could make us more susceptible to his attacks. Yes, please do it. No, you could make us less susceptible to his attacks, which would be pretty nice. Shield Sigma will work on everyone. Song is so nice. Oh, good thing I did that when I did. That. Not stop crying. That's doubly good. We've been getting through that resistance. Ness... You're not really in danger. I think Pooh could just kind of put up a shield beta on you to renew the shield that broke just now. How often do you ever see the shield used, am I right? It did 14 damage to Ness and deflected the attack. Yeah, some shields do have the capability to deflect damage, such as Beta. It's the difference between Alpha and Beta because you can only use each one on one party member, so that's how you justify the higher PP cost there. Go for it again. Attempt number 5, I think, is what we're on right now. I hope I'm counting right, otherwise it's gonna be really embarrassing. Oh, all right. Did not work. Presumably 6? Smashed Paula. Did not work. Come on, Ness. I know you can do it. Maybe I should have given him some PP recovery items if I really wanted to try to make this happen. Pooh, renew the shield, please. Thank you. This is the most useful you've been in any fight so far, and it's by keeping Paula alive. Which, that's not a mean thing to say about someone. I'll have you know that a lot of Ness and Jeff's best turns were spent keeping Paula alive. Keeping her alive is a good place to be. It's useful. Acting a bit unusual, 7 damage to Paula. And 3 damage right back at you. Because, yeah, I gotta slap you in the face. Because yeah! 1 PP left! Yeah! Awesome! Love doing that! I know I could have killed him in less time, but Nothing beats the thrill of an instant kill hunt, you know? Nothing beats the thrill of a headshot. Speed up by 1, guts up by 1, vitality up by 1. I'm feeling the vitality up. Rat rocks. Oh, man. Offense up Omega. Raises the offense of the entire party, making her even better than she was before. Pooh grows to level 30. There we go, getting excited about level ups again. The Playground at Doom is just that wonderful. We make it out, and I'm gonna show you a slight oversight. If you hug the bottom very precisely, trying to be careful, trying to inch up very, very slightly whenever I do this. Okay. You're able to get to the other side of the Sanctuary trigger point. And you can open this chest and get the carrot key. The carrot key is a required item that you need in order to move onward. It will be needed eventually. You're supposed to trigger the Sanctuary cutscene and then get this item. But as you can see, you are able to get it without triggering it, meaning that you can skip the Sanctuary in all technicality, similar to how you could skip the Lilliput steps in the Milky Well before it. Why on earth would you ever want to skip it when you're already here? Well, we'll find that out a little bit later, but if you want to do some weird stuff, you can skip this one for now and make some interesting things happen a little bit later. Ness saw a baby's bottle, but just for an instant. Ness's soundstone recorded the melody of Magnet Hill. And that's the third and final place in Fourside that we heard about, but we never made it to. Now we have. Next time on EarthBound, we start heading towards the pyramid now that we've taken care of everything on this land. See you guys then.